Welcome to the Village Boy Podcast. This is your host, Tres. And today we have much more of a learning conversation than an understanding or claiming to know type of conversation. Today we're trying to understand what lobbying is, what the benefits are for lobbying. We've heard about AIPAC, the different groups that have bought over American politicians. We're going to go over who has been bought. And if somebody has been bought, and I have this question. If I'm going to vote in an election as an American, and the candidate I'm going to vote for as an American has already been bought and paid for by uh, a different organization that has put in more money than my $20, $25, $100 contributions towards that candidate. And that organization is advocating for something that does not benefit me directly or indirectly. There is zero benefits between myself and that organization. And this guy or woman I'm going to vote for has received exorbitant amounts of money from that organization. Is this guy going to work for my interest? Is this girl going to work for my interest or the interest of the person who has paid the highest? It's all I would like to know. If I could have an answer to this question, I would appreciate the understanding. If anybody has the answer out there, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment to be able to educate me that yes, it does not mean that a politician who has accepted $2 million from, say, the NRA, a major Hispanic organization, a major Muslim organization, a major Jewish organization, will not work in your interest for you that donated $50 to his campaign. But what if the things I want go against the major donor's interest? Would they still be able to attend to my $50 need, or are they going to just push me to the side and take care of their multi-million dollar contributor or donors? These are some of the things I would like to understand. But let's not drift. Let's pick the most powerful lobbyists in the country, AIPAC, most powerful political lobbyists in the country, AIPAC, and try to understand what a lobby is, what this lobby does for the benefit of America, because it's an American lobby. Let's understand, let's dissect how everyday Americans benefit directly from a powerful lobby such as AIPAC. But before we do that, let's listen to Nixon talk about lobbying in America.
The fact is that American Jews support Israel, and I understood that. And the fact is that every Jewish prime minister that I have known has enlisted American Jews to bring as much pressure as possible in the political process on American presidents. That's understandable. I don't object to it. Now, a president must not go along with it on occasion, because let me explain something about what is called the Jewish lobby in this country. In the first place, Jews, understandably, in the United States, because of what happened in World War II, because of the Holocaust, are going to put first priority on the survival of Israel. Now, as good Americans as they are, they believe that America's survival and security is directly related to Israel's. In other words, their belief is that being for Israel first means that does not mean you're putting America second.
So let me understand this. America was founded before the state of Israel, the current state of Israel. America helped create, through the Balfour Treaty, the current state of Israel. A vast majority of the Israelis in the current state of Israel are New Yorkers and a bunch of Americans that have migrated back to Israel to be there, and other Europeans who came from Poland, Germany, Italy, that settle over there. So, how does a country, because Donald Trump is currently older than the state of Israel, how does a country where the president of that country, not the country, let's not even worry about the country itself, just the president, Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States, is older than the state by 2 years, older than the current state of Israel. How does Trump, who was born before Israel, put Israel first? I mean, Israel did not exist in 1940, 1941, 1942, 1943. What was America's interest prior to that time? Because it seems like America's interest is aligned to Israel's interest, like the president here is saying, but this country only existed after 1946. So America had no interest prior to this time. Maybe I didn't understand what he said. So I'm going to go back and try to play that segment again. So I try to understand because, again, like I said, this segment is all about learning. It's trying to understand this powerful organization, what they do for America, what is the goal, the net benefit, the return on investment that the everyday Americans get who are not Jewish, for example, from a powerful organization that buys every American politician. When you have the ability to buy every American politician, we're saying that you are affecting everyday Americans. You're not just affecting a small group of Americans. If you're affecting a small group of Americans, you're going to buy the politicians that are directly focused on those the group of people, right? But when you buy 90 to 95% of everyday American politicians, you're saying that you are affecting Americans one way or the other. And this is why I'm trying to learn. I'm just trying to understand this. So let's listen to the president say this one more time. Let's go back a little bit here again and hear him talk about the interest.
Is that being for Israel first means that that does not mean you're putting America second.
So being for Israel first, a country that America is at least 175 years older than, I could do the math to come up with the exact number. So you are older by this country by over a century, and you are putting that country first, and that does not mean that you're putting yourself second. Okay, let's keep listening because this is what I'm trying to understand here.
Because they think it goes together. An American president, however, has to approach it in a different way, in my opinion. He's got always to think first of what is best for America. And that's true whether it has to do with the Israelis or whether it has to do with the Irish or the Germans or what have you, or the Poles, etc. Uh, Usually, what is best for America is also best for Israel and vice.
Okay. So usually what's best for America is also best for Israel. Hmm. What does that mean? What is best for America is also best for Israel. This is a country that is 175 years older that helped created the state of Israel. At least 20 to 30% of that country are American Jews. And what is best for America is best for the state of Israel. And Israel is made up of 80%, 70% European Jews. So, what is best for Americans? A very multicultural country, not Jewish by any stance. Jews make up 1 to 2% of the vast American population. But what is best for America? So, when America was existing, when Israel was not existing, what was best for America, and who was the second? Who I don't know how to frame this question because I'm very confused about this. And that's why I'm asking you guys to like, subscribe, and comment and be able to educate me. Because the last thing I want to draw from here is when you're asking these very sensitive questions, they're going to brand you an anti-Semite. My page is going to be taken down. My $100 that I've made so far in this YouTube page is going to be frozen. My image is going to be destroyed, and my reputation, my life is going to be at risk just for asking these questions. But who I am, I'm always going to ask this question. So I really, really want to understand this interest, that the interest that this person is talking about, is it an American people interest or is it an American government interest? And does the American government work for the American people or the American government works for the Israeli state? Because it's very confusing. Are black people taken into account? Are Hispanic people taken into account? Are white people taken into account? Because these people have diverse interests. Black people are trying to get into a system that has left them out, has not really been very inclusive for them. Gay people are trying to get recognition and get a stance and let their sexuality be known. They want to tell the world who they're having sex with as their focus. White people are feeling threatened that their power, they're losing power. They need to hold onto their power and be the dominant race. Women want to be seen and heard and be in the workforce. Are these the interests that this person is talking about that aligns with the Israeli interest? Because these are what Americans are going to the polls every day to vote for. Or is it a geopolitical interest that have nothing to do with the American people that this president is talking about? I don't know, but I'm asking the question for anybody who knows that can be able to say, this is what we're talking about. But let's not get carried away. Let's listen some more.
Vice versa. But on occasions, for example, an American president must make a decision that does not, in effect, give the Israelis a blank check. And one example of that is a decision that I made. I decided early on in our administration that we were going to seek good relations with Egypt and others of Israel's neighbors. Many of my Israeli friends didn't like that.
Okay. So they didn't like that because they're expecting a blank check, right? And that didn't come from this president. So this president did not give them a blank check, which is what they were looking for. And by by all accounts, from what he's saying, uh, they didn't like the outcome of that. They didn't like the outcome of that and got pissed. And this is Nixon. So this goes way back. Let's try to understand. I've always said I the word lobbying, it's probably new to me, so I'm trying to understand what what do they do, how do Americans benefit from groups like this and stuff. So what is a lobby? A lobby is an individual or a group that attempts to influence government decisions, policies, or legislation on behalf of a particular interest or a cause. So essentially, what they're saying is an individual is going to go to the politicians and press the right buttons by the politicians if they have to and say, I want you to push this particular agenda in my favor and it's going to benefit me. They always have to, it's something that benefits you. And this is one of the things that I've always told Americans. Politics is a game of interest. If you're not in politics for interest, something that benefits you, you're naive, immature, and really should not vote. The reason why you are voting is to get something in return. Everybody that goes to vote to get something in return. This is why politicians make promises, and usually those promises are empty promises they're not going to keep. This is why lobbies exist. They go out there and buy these politicians, put them in their pockets, and you all are voting, and then they tell you all to go out and vote and make this guy in office. But this guy now is owned by the lobbying group of or individual that paid the most money. Politicians are up for sale. Politicians are like, the best description is like, politicians are like prostitutes. They are up for sale. The highest bidder gets them, and they do whatever the highest bidder wants for them. And it could be anything the bidder tells them, the winning bidder tells them to do. They have no convictions. They have no directions. They are supposed to just obey who paid the most. This is why forming yourself in a powerful group makes you powerful as opposed to going in to vote as individual, which is the mistake that the blacks have done for donkey years. The black vote is the weakest vote in America because it has no particular interest attached to it. It has nothing in return. It gets nothing in return. It's an empty suit. That's the black vote. The Hispanic vote is a powerful vote because if Hispanic people want to affect immigrant policies in America, they are going to coalesce together and vote on a bill that is going to say we're going to vote for amnesty, we're going to vote for this, we're going to push something in relation to immigration, and they usually always get something in return. Black folks cannot gather to vote for criminal justice reform, cannot gather to vote for educational reform, cannot gather to vote for reparations, cannot. So their vote has no significant weight in America. The Muslim vote even has more power than the black vote. And the Muslims are probably only based out of Michigan, a small town, Dearborn in Michigan. And Trump had to go there and beg them for their vote to be able to win Michigan. A powerful group, the Islamic vote. The women vote in America is very powerful. That's a strong block. The black vote is not a block. It's an empty collection of people that just randomly are excited to go vote for a candidate because the candidate either looks like them or it's a woman. This is the black vote. The black vote cannot tell you what specific interest they get from candidates and who they have bought with their money. So, a lobby is an individual or a group that attempts to influence government decision, policies, or legislations on behalf of a particular interest. There is a benefit. In the US, lobbying is a regulated game, and groups must register with the government under the Lobbying Disclosure Act of 1995 if they meet certain thresholds for lobbying activities and expenditures. But are Jewish lobbying groups registered under the Lobbying Disclosure Act of 1995? Are they a foreign agent working for a foreign government, Israel? Is AIPAC working on behalf of Israel? AIPAC says no. AIPAC says they're a domestic lobbying group that works on behalf of the Jewish community in America. And some scrambles and other things fall to Israel. So they're not working on behalf of Israel. But is that the truth? Do you look at it and say, yes, it's the truth? Well, AIPAC doesn't receive any financial assistance from the Israeli government or any foreign entity. This is just all Americans voting for Jewish interests. But the truth is it the truth that they are a domestic only lobbying organization? It's not the truth. But what is the truth though? The truth is that in 1950, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, under Eisenhower and Kennedy's, they pressed then American Zionist Council, which is the offshoot of AIPAC, a predecessor of AIPAC, AZC, the American Zionist Council, right, to register as a foreign agent due to funding from the Jewish Agency for Israel. What did they do? What did AZC do? AZC decided to reorganize itself. It learned quickly. It was like, so now what we need to do is change our name They went from AZC to APAC. That's how APAC was born in 1959. And they understood the game, understood that to be able to continue doing this work, we need to fund from within and do the same job, but without receiving money from outside. That's the little loophole. So AZC couldn't survive, but they recreated APAC. And APAC is the organization, the lobby organization that has bought over 90 to 95% of all your American politicians. And they get past the FARA Act, the Foreign Agency Restriction Act, which requires individuals of organizations acting as agents of foreign governments or entities to register. This is why APAC cannot register because they're not acting on behalf of so-called Israel. But we all know that's BS, right? We all know this, correct? How do we know this? How do we know this? Let's listen to this short video to understand how we know this.
Hello, I'm Ted Pike, and this is my wife, Lynn. Today, a foreign government, Israel, operates the most powerful lobby in Congress. This is AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Through control of Congress, Israel demands and gets nearly $5 billion annually. No elected official dares criticize Israel for fear the Jewish lobby will accuse him of anti-Semitism, the kiss of death for any politician. The president also knows what Israel wants, Israel gets. To act otherwise is political suicide.
What Israel wants, Israel gets. I think, and the president Nixon did say that their interests are aligned with the interests of Americans, right? It's not Israel first and Americans second. But what Israel wants, Israel gets. So Americans in Alabama, Americans in West Virginia, Americans across the poor areas of this country, can they say what an Alabaman want, what a Mississippian want, what a West Virginian wants, a West Virginian gets? Can they say the same thing? I don't know. This is why I'm asking the question of because of how powerful this organization is. Let's keep watching.
The mass media, founded and controlled primarily by Jews, manipulates the spigot of information out of which Heartland America drinks. The message of this contaminated source is, if you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semitic. Be safe. Keep your head down, or you are fair game for being knocked off by the Zionist shooting gallery.
As a result, our president and elected officials are slaves to political correctness when it comes to
Did you hear that? Your presidents and political elected officials are slaves. They are owned by an action group. So when you're going to an election to vote, and again, it has, forget about AIPAC for a second, forget about the Jewish or the pro-Israeli lobby for a second. If your politician is owned by an entity that is not you, is that politician working for you? Is the question I want an answer for. So you hit the like button, hit this, subscribe to the channel, and go to the comment section and say not necessarily just because they are owned by an organization working for an interest that does not necessarily align with you, they can still work with you. Give me the sequence, the scenario where that is possible, and give me anywhere else in the world where foreign or a group of people own their government this much that works for the interest of of a foreign country. Give us a scenario where this is not a hostage taking situation, where your government doesn't even work for you.
To Jews and Israel. They cannot seriously criticize Israel, especially as the source of Mideast strife and terrorism. They cannot suggest an end of aid to Israel. They cannot even protest Zionist control of Congress.
Hello, I'm
So, as you see, we're going to go here. Let's talk about this. The AIPAC tracker. It's an amazing platform that tracks your elected officials that have accepted money from the most powerful um, Jewish pro-Israeli lobby that works on behalf of the Jewish community. The Jewish community are part of America. Are they asking for more rights than the average American has? Jewish Americans, do you want more than your average American have? Are you American first or are you? And this is why when I hear this question about Israel as a Jewish state, when we understand that 10% of that country is made up of Arabs. So it's like Americans are saying America is a white country when 65% or 70, I mean, it's declined. Even when it was 90%, it was still not a white country because there were other minorities in the country. How are you going to call Israel a Jewish state? So are you marginalizing the Arab Israelis that live there? Are you marginalizing the atheists that live in Israel? Are you marginalizing the homosexuals that live in Israel? Are you marginalizing the non-Jews that live in Israel? How do you label a country a Jewish state when not every single person in that country, in that state, is a Jew? Isn't that marginalization, racism, discrimination at its finest? But they have to do that because if Israel does anything and you want to call out Israel, they're going to say you're attacking a Jewish state and you're anti Semitic. But does that word even mean anything? But let's not get distracted, please. Let's look. The Israeli lobby in U.S. Congress. I say they own. Look at this. Look. Let's go to Alabama. These are all your people. Uh, AIPAC. Uh, and think about this. Think about there's no other. I don't know of any other political action group that is able because Republicans stand for one thing completely different. Democrats stand for something completely different. The only thing that they agree on is not America. They don't agree on anything about America. They're fundamentally divided when it comes to America, but they're fundamentally united. American politicians are fundamentally united when it comes to Israel. So AIPAC is able to fund both Democrats and Republicans to take care of Israeli needs and Jewish needs and the Jewish community and what have you, and the Zionist needs. But when it comes to the people that elected them, the American people, then they are divided along red and blue lines. So look at your elected, we're going to go down and you're going to see APAC and how much money. So when you look at the money that these people have received, are they working? Alabama, this is Alabama, the people from Alabama. And the good thing about APAC, they don't discriminate. If you are going to support their cause, they're going to support you. Black, white, yellow, pink, red. You could be 700 genders. You could be whatever you want to be. The goal is, do you support their agenda? If you support their agenda, they throw in their money. Terry Sewell, black. What has a black woman got to do? She finished solving the problems in America, in her community, in her district? I'm sure she has a big black district because they're gonna vote for her because she's a black woman. Has she finished solving that problem? She gets $103,000. How much do black folks donate to her to be able to outnumber this $103,000? Not a lot. So she's in the pocket of the Jewish lobby. And everything she's going to do is first for the people that paid her, that own her. This is Alabama. All of these people, right? All of these people are working not for your interests, but they're working for the interests of some of the non Americans. Alaska, right? Right? Your senators, all of them, right? This one even got 5,000 to do what? The RJC, uh, see, AIPAC, all of them endorsing Republican. They don't discriminate. Arizona, look at it. Mark Kelly, your guy, the guy who the astronaut. You would think that he is a noble guy. He's going to be American first. He talks tough. No, he's in the back. He is owned. He is in the back. Right. This one Hispanic. He got $500,000 from AIPAC. Do you think Americans that this guy's working for you when somebody bought him for $500,000? Do you think he's answerable to you? No, you are supposed to vote for him, but he's answerable to his owners. Dude got $500. Dude sold his soul for $500. He got $500, but he seems like he's not totally in the back. Right? These ones, right? This one is gone. She's probably, look at her name. Of course, $679,000. Right? Look at that. Arizona. All of them. Arkansas. Arkansas. Tom Cotton, 1 million. Of course, in the back, he is completely owned. He doesn't even have a voice. There is nothing pro American about Tom Cotton. At $1 million, he is completely owned. Owned. They don't even need to use a loop with him anymore. Look at that. Right? These are the people that have run this country for over 200 years, and they're a group of people who are upset with DEI. And these are the anti-Americans who have sold America. But you're worried that a colored person was given an opportunity. But that's your fight. That's what they've taught you to hate, fear. But you're not scared about these people. You're not scared about the people that you vote in office that don't work for you, don't give you anything in return. California, AIPAC is across the board. Dude, Adam Schiff got 6 million. Americans, dude got $6 million from a foreign entity. Do you think Adam Schiff cares about you Americans? Do you think Adam Schiff is working for you? He is completely owned. He is programmed to be anti-America. Right? Look at that. She got 1,500. She may not have sold her soul yet. Nancy Pelosi in the back. This one sold his soul for $22,000. Maybe he's still hanging in there and thinking, right? This one looks Indian. He got 209. Right. Maybe those in the colored picture are not. They have the American flag. See, this ones with this low budget and colored picture, they have the American flag. So maybe they're still pro-Americans. This one with the red in the back, they seem to be gone, lost for good. I think that's what it is. Right, look at them. Jim Costa, sold, completely gone. Right. Judy Chu, maybe we can still rescue this one. Right. You, a Mexican or some Spanish dude, gone, lost. Friedman, of course. She doesn't really need the money. Her name is Friedman. Aguilera, almost $1 million. Jeez, man. Is this still California? Yeah, California got everybody. This sister is hanging in there, sister, hang in there. Right? You're still fighting a good cause. Right? Don't sell your soul. Look at that. Hardly you will see Caucasian people in this list. You got Sarah Jacobs hanging in there, mommy, hanging in there, my dear. Colorado, look at that. Sold, gone. Right? Hang in there, my dear. Republican, hang in there. Fight for America. Look at them. All Connecticut. Look at that. Old folks that need this one. Been in Congress for over 100 years. Sold completely. Johanna Hayes. Sister, how do you sell your soul? How do you sell yourself to? Have you fixed the problems in your community? Out of black folks and Hispanic folks and colored folks and poor white folks in Connecticut, have you addressed their needs? And black folks are going to vote for her because she's black and a woman. This sister just got in Congress from Delaware. $80 already sold her soul. The dude or the woman, Stella, somebody, Steve, I don't know. He gone. Didn't even last long. Didn't even come. Didn't even advocate. I mean, Israel is home to you know the LGBT community, so of course it would be easy to buy her off because it's aligned. But Delaware doesn't have anybody fighting for folks from Delaware. There's not one person on here that has the American flag behind them. Florida, look at that. All of them sold. Maxwell Frost, hanging in there, bro. Hanging in there. Fight, keep fighting for America, right? Every other one, the Republicans, all of them, they think that they're gonna go to heaven. If you bless Israel, America's going to Israel, God is gonna bless you, right? Sister, brothers, gone. Republicans, Democrats. And you look, you see AIPAC, RJC, and DOS. This DMF is probably like a Democrat because once you see DMFI, you see a Democrat, DMFI. But AIPAC is across the board. AIPAC is able to unite these politicians not for the benefit of Americans, but for the benefit of the Jewish community. AIPAC does not work for your interest. AIPAC is able to bring American politicians together, not to solve American problems, but to solve Jewish problems. And how Americans don't see this, they're able to unite Brian Donalds, and they're able to unite Sheila Chefilus McCormick, a Democrat and Republican, to work on Jewish issues. But both of them are not going to see eye to eye if they decide to say, let's fix healthcare for all Americans. They're not. They're not going to talk to each other. They're not. They're going to veto the bill. Let's solve American poverty. Let's fix American schools. They're not going to see eye to eye. But let's say if you question Any question at all, anything you say about Israel, let's call you an anti-Semite. Both of them are going to be on the same page, and both of them are going to vote yes. Debbie Washington Schultz, of course. Schultz, what do you think? She has a million. She doesn't fight for Americans, right? This woman has never been pro-American all her life. Matter of fact, I'm probably more pro-American than this Debbie Washington Schultz, right? AIPAC, right? Georgia, Raphael Warnock. They spent over 4 million in this campaign. He in the bag for 1 million. Do you think Raphael Warnock is working to solve the black people problem in America? No, because black people don't have $923,000 in his campaign. Black people don't own him. He's not answerable to the black folks in Georgia. He's answerable to the Jewish community. He has been to the synagogue more times in Georgia than he has been to visit black folk. You just may not see it in the news because they own him. He's not a free man. He's a slave. And he is the most paid of all the lots. Hang in there, Brother Johnson. Hang in there. Fight for your people. Fight for the American people. Look at that. $0, Brother Johnson. Hang in there, Brother Johnson, and fight for your country. Fight for your people. Fight for your community. Look at that. And they will fight for him and kick him out of office until all of these pictures red dark. David Scott. Psh. Andrew Clyde. Fight. A Republican. My respect, sir. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I never believe I would. I had always called her an airhead, a bimbo, but even a broken clock is right twice in a day. My salutes to you, madam. My my congratulations for you for standing on you for your country. I may not agree with your policies. I may not agree with your hatred for DEI and thinking that DEI is black. I may not agree with a lot of your stands, but the fact that you are America first, you are pro-America, you love your country, and you stand for what you believe, your country, I salute you. And not being on this AIPAC list, if I was a Georgian, I will vote for you. Yes. I mean, you are still bad shit crazy, but you have my respect. Hawaii, the people of Hawaii, right? She don't have the flag. I'm not sure. Jill Tokunda, keep fighting. It's a tough battle, but keep fighting. The rest of them, oh, Schwartz, of course, Jewish Hawaiian. He in the bag. He gone. Idaho potato. They gone. All old white men that should be retired are all gone. They not working for you. Illinois. Delia Ramirez. Oh, gracias, señorita. Gracias, señorita Ramirez. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you. This is what thank you for your service means. When you're working and fighting for your country. All of this, thank you for your service for petrodollars. I don't know about that. But this is what thank you for your service means. When the enemy is lurking and you stand because it's between the enemy and your country. Thank you, Delia Ramirez. Gracias. Gracias. Jonathan Jackson, thank you. Keep fighting. It's do not fall. Tammy Duckworth, in the bag, sold her conscience. Dick Durbin, this one needs to have gone in the bag. 1 million. I think he's not running again. Sold. Ruben Kerley, gone, sold. Right? Jesus Choi Garcia, gracias. Thank you, Jesus. The Hispanics are showing up and representing. Right? The white men are in the bag. They believe that's how they go to heaven, anyways. They're Christian Zionists, all these white folks in the majority. Black folks, they just follow us because I don't know for all these people. Danny Davis, what you doing, my man? What you doing, Danny Davis, brother Danny Davis? What you doing? Oh, yeah, and keep fighting, keep fighting. Right. Lauren Underhood, thank you. Thank you and keep fighting. Don't let them suck you in. I see 75,000. I don't know if that's the money they've given you, but you have the American flag behind you. I believe AIPAC tracker. I trust that they are saying that you are hanging on the thread. You are fighting. So keep fighting that good work. And you have an amazing smile. So keep fighting. Look at that. Right. And America is a white country when they've sold all of their souls and all their conscience, all of that. Look at that. All white folks. Todd Young, Gene Banks, Frank, this. Sold everything to Israel. But DEI is the problem. Look at the one person that's here that's hanging in. The one colored fella, Andre Carson, right? Andre. That's probably going to be a Haitian, and the white folks out here are going to be hating him because he's first, second, third generation, right? Look at that. All white folks in Indiana sold their soul, sold their conscience, sold Indiana to the highest bidder. Mark Mesmer, $1.3 million gone. And Indianans think he's working for you, he's working on your behalf. No, no, he's not. He's 1.3 million owned, right? Look at that. All white folks, completely owned and operated. Look at that. White folks for Iowa, completely. Not a single colored. If there was a colored in here, Iowa completely owned. Chuck Grassley, been there longer than the country itself. In the pocket, 500. Johnny Ayers, 520 for 29, owned completely, right? Completely owned, right? This is just crazy, right? Look at that. Ron Paul. My respect, Ron Paul. Look at Mitch McConnell. 2 million in the bag, right? The turkey neck senator, 2 million in the bag, right? Ron Paul, my respect, sir. Right? Thomas Massey, zero, right? That's why he doesn't have the American flag. He has to sign it. Thomas Massey, go sign this. Right? Some white people are still standing guard. Look at Troy Carter, sold 93. Bro, if you're gonna sell yourself, be up there at least 250, right? Cleo Fields, thank you, sir. Newly elected. He hasn't been bought. So we're just gonna hope that he doesn't sell his soul, right? Maine, gone. All of them. Maryland, gone. Angela also Brooks just got in newly and she in the bag already. She didn't even make a day. And see, they said the newly elected. Also Brooks just got elected in November. And she in the bag already for almost $500,000. PG County, Montgomery County. This is not, she's not working for you. She's not working for you. Chris Van Hollen is not really in the bag, but he have out, right? Kwesi Mfume, our one little Ghanaian brother in the bag. Oh my goodness, right? In the bag. Massachusetts. Massachusetts looks good. Look at that. Look at that. They look good, right? Ayanna Presley. Ayanna Presley, I saw you the other day on you were having a conversation with Joy Reid. You're far right liberal, far right radical liberal. I may not agree with you all the time, but the simple fact that you're supporting your country, you're standing for what you believe, and I may not agree with your policies, but I love your bald head. I love it because my wife has one too. She wears it really amazing. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So um yes, keep fighting for your country, Ayana. I may not agree with your progressive radical policies, but I stand to support you for believing in your country. Yes, look at this. All sold. Michigan, all gone. Not one. Look at that. Rashida Tlaib, of course. Of course. She is not going to be. And they're insulting her. They're racially profiling her. When all this Caucasian folks have sold their souls and consciousness to a foreign state. Kelly Morrison, thank you. Thank you, Kelly Morrison. Iya Omar, that's of course the devil to the MAGA movement because she doesn't support not a penny, right? Mississippi, Benny Thompson, thank you, my brother. Thank you, sir, for your service to the country and keep fighting to represent that flag. It's your country, it's your home. Look at all these people, all of them, so gone, wasted. Missouri, gone. Wesley Bell looks like a brother. Sold 3 million. 12. Oh boy. Whoo-hoo. This is a waste. George Harley in the back, noisemaker, makes a lot of noise, but owned by Israel. Nobody takes you serious, Joshy boy. Nobody takes you serious. Look at that. All of them. Missouri, gone. Not a single American in Missouri. Not one, right? Not a single American in Montana, not a single American in Nebraska, not a single American in Nevada, not a single American in New Hampshire, not a single American in New Jersey. Oh, there's one, Bonnie Watson Coleman and LaMonica McCaver, Maxiver, butchering that name, but there isn't much about her. It's new legislative. We're evaluating their legislative record. So at some point, she's probably going to cave. Bonnie Watson looks like she's been there. Thank you, Bonnie, for your service and standing up for your country. You give hope to New Jersey, right? New Mexico, Martin Henrik. I don't know. We encourage the senator to continue improving their voting record. So they're hanging on the fence, but it looks like a lot of money there. New York, Nida Valaquez. Valaquez. Thank you, Nida. Nadia. Thank you, Alexandra AOC. AOC. Thank you. Look at this Richie Torres, 1.4 in the bag. So corrupt. So this is so. Look at that smile. You know it's a corrupt smile. Look at that one right there. Man, New York, 2 people. North Carolina, not a single person. Valerie Fouché, $2 million. It's a sister. Sister in the back, $2 million. Sister never left slavery. My goodness. Still in chains and handcuffs. Has never known freedom a single day in her life. My goodness. Alma Ada Adams, 24,000. Your sister up here, 2 million. You out here 20. Tell these people, this Jewish lobby, to pay you the money. If you're gonna sell your soul, ask for the bag. Ask for your money. Don't come out here and get insults for 24 grand. I could give you that one to walk away, right? North Dakota, not a single American. John Huston in Ohio, the only one. Look at Joy Beatty, Joyce Beatty, 76, AIPAC owned. My goodness. Chantel Brown, completely owned, 4 million. Black folks, when you look at this, 4 million she's owned by a community that's not hers. Black folks, when you look at this, is Chantel working for you? Is Chantel going to fight for your interest? If the owners that own her come say, Chantel, you need to go to the Jewish temple and go make a speech and tell them that you're going to fight for anti-Semitism in their community. And there was a shooting where a little girl was shot in her district, and she needed to go make that announcement. And they came telling her that no, you need to go talk to your owners. Who do you think she's going to prioritize? She's going to prioritize the people that own her, right? Amelia in the bag, right? Oklahoma, not a single American. Oregon, half an American. Pennsylvania, not a single American. Oh, Summer Lee. Thank you, Summer. Thank you, Summer. We appreciate you for standing for your country. Rhode Island, not one. South Carolina, all of them, of course. All of them completely owned. Tim Scott, Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott. These people. They should give them Jewish passports. These are Jewish Americans, right? Jim Clyburn should have a Jewish passport, right? South Dakota, not a single American, right? Texas, Ted Cruz said the only reason he's in Congress was to be the number one supporter of Jews, right? The only reason an American was elected was to be the number one supporter of Jews, right? This is what an American senator said in an interview, and he got triggered because he was exposed, right? Let's go ahead and watch that real quick. Let's go ahead and watch what Ted Cruz had to say.
Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible.
This is a senator using Sunday school as his policy guidance, right? To make policy for Americans, he's using Sunday school when he was 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years old. This is what a 50-something-year-old man is using as a foundation to make critical policy decisions in 2025. Let's listen to this man.
Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my. You pull out the phone and use the Google.
It's in Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it. And you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology. I'm confused.
I just want to remind folks, this is an American elected senator for the state of Texas, one of the biggest states in the union. Doesn't know the biblical phrase. He heard it in Sunday school some 50 years ago. Doesn't fight to work for Texans. Is talking about he wants to be on the blessing sides of things. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. Why do you want to curse Israel? Why do you want to bless Israel? Israel is an independent state. What has that got to do? What does that got to do with blessing or cursing Israel? Israel will be held accountable as every other nation in the world. Israel does not get to have a special pass. It is an independent, sovereign state that conducts elections. Israel doesn't have a minister. Israel doesn't have a pope. Israel has a prime minister. Israel has embassies around the world. Israel has a military. Israel has a police. Israel has citizens. Israel has passports. Israel participates as every other country in the world. Imagine going to a soccer tournament and playing Israel. Do you want to beat Israel? And that feels like Israel is going to lose, and so you're not going to be blessed for beating Israel? So if America meets Israel at the World Cup, that's going to be in America. Will America beat Israel? If they both are in the round of 16 and America needs to qualify to the next round, would America then beat Israel? And then would that seem like you didn't bless Israel? Because if you want to bless Israel, you would let Israel win so that Israel can continue rising to the top. Because I don't understand how you look at a sovereign, independent country and you're talking about those who bless Israel. How do you bless Israel, you, Ted Cruz? How are you going to bless Israel? You're going to pray for Israel? You've been praying for school shootings and offering thoughts and prayers. How has that worked out? And those who curse Israel, who is cursing Israel? Who is going out there because how do you curse Israel? Let's keep watching.
What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But hold on, define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
And so is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yet nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the descendants
God's
of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
And by the way, it's not run by Benjamin Netanyahu as a dictator. It's a democratic country.
This This is an elected American senator who is fighting and advocating for a foreign country. Listen, if anybody ever tells you that you're a foreigner or thank you for coming to my country, ask them a simple question. Did you vote for Ted Cruz? Did you vote for any of these people on this list? Right? Any of these people on this list right here. This list right here. That's Ted Cruz right there. Almost $2 million that he has received. He is not working for Americans. Ted Cruz is in no position to question who's an American and who isn't because you don't fight for an American. You're not even an American. You're an Israeli spy. You're an Israeli stooge. You want to bless. What happened to blessing America? You don't want to bless. Your anthem says, you said, God bless America. Not your anthem, but God bless America. But you're worried about blessing Israel so much that you forget to bless America and work for Americans. Right? Al Green, the disruptor. Well, he's a noble man, it seems. He was disrupting Trump, but it makes sense now why he's not owned completely. But look at Israel. Joaquin Castro, right, used to. I think his brother was worked for Obama. He's a twin. Brother worked for the Obama administration. But look at Texas, completely owned. My girl Crockett, Jasmine Crockett, man, I have a lot of ambitions for this girl. She got a lot of potential, and she's completely not owned by the Jewish lobby. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, sister girl. Thank you. I know I've said some shit about you in the past, but you was acting a little ratchety too, right? I may not agree with you because you're a radical progressive liberal, but I salute you for supporting and believing in your country, right? Greg says, thank you. Lloyd Duggett, thank you. This Wesley Hunt, this push copycat wannabe conservative Obama, of course, in the bag. Owned, completely owned. Utah, not a single American. Vermont, look at the only state in the union that is not owned. I stand up and I give a round of applause to Vermont, the only state that is not on the list. Thank you, Vermont. Virginia, Bob Scott looks like he's partially owned. Virginia looks partially good. Washington, Pramelia Jayapal, we approve. No currency. And she's Indian, and we know how Indians suck up to Israel. Strange. Thank you, Jayapal. West Virginia, completely owned. No surprise there. Right. Mark Pokin. Thank you, sir. Gwen Moore. Thank you, Gwen. My elder sister's name was Gwen, so that makes me feel even extra better. Thank you, Gwen. Wyoming, of course. It's a white country, completely owned. So there you have it. There you have it, people. You're looking at a country that whose government is completely owned by a political pack, right? Completely owned. How do these people work for you when they are receiving monies that you guys cannot even match up to them, right? So I can go on. Let's see how long the show has been on. Over an hour. I'll add a little bit of there's something I wanted to talk about. Let's look for it here. Where is it? Because sometimes we don't notice things, right? We don't know what we don't know. Okay, so I can't find it. We're just gonna wrap it up. Um, okay, no, I found it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm going to share this guy with you because Israel is the number one ally of America, and they think they're identical. They love the same things that they love. So I'm like, what does Israel enjoy that America doesn't? What does Israel have that America doesn't? What is it when you ask an Israeli, what is it that you love being an Israeli, right? Israel has a universal healthcare system. Of course, Israel has a very small, diverse country, and I've said America is the only civilized, developed country that does not have universal health care. And the reason is because it's a very diverse country. The majority white population, the majority, not everybody, is never going to vote for colored people to have universal health care. So that's not going to happen, right? Strong sense of national cohesion. I think Americans have a strong sense of national pride too. Um, I don't know what that means for an American. Like, what does that national pride? It doesn't. Does it? What does it come with? Right? What does it come with? Israel has a vibrant startup ecosystem per capita. It's easier to start up your small business idea. If you have a tech idea, startup, it's easier to set it up in Israel than it is in America because of the bottleneck and all the shacks in America. Rich historical and religious significance. Israel is largely a Jewish state, and they want to hold, right. They have other ethnicities that they want to marginalize and suppress that Judaism on everybody and say Israel is a Jewish state. Although they have Christians, Islams, and all these kinds of temples within Israel, America doesn't have that. They have mandatory service, although they exclude Orthodox Jews and Arabs to not serve. But every Israeli citizen is a recruit from it's a potential idea of recruit. America doesn't really have that kind of a system. I don't know if that's something that you pride yourself about. So what does America have that Israel doesn't? They're talking about geography. Well, how does that benefit America? That America is a very diverse geographical country, right? How does that benefit you? That there could be sunshine in Florida and snow in Illinois. There are mountains in West Virginia and there are snow mountains in Colorado's. The plains of West Virginia's and the desert of Arizona. What does that? How does that benefit you? Stronger individual liberty and privacy. What kind of privacy? You cannot even criticize the people that own you. It's not privacy, not even freedom. What liberties? What do you do with these liberties? Robust constitutional protections like the First and Second Amendment rights. No, this is it's a make-up belief. Free speech, there's no free speech in America. You have to watch what you say. Right? They're passing laws to make sure you cannot criticize the owners of America. So this is really not free speech. Economic scale and consumer options. Okay, there's a lot of diversity in choice. You could consume whatever you want to consume, far and large. You can consume healthy, which is more expensive, and you consume cheap, which is affordable. Unhealthy, which is affordable. So America enjoys that separation of state. Yeah, yeah. America is largely Christian, but they don't look at America as a Christian country, right? The Constitution prohibits things like that. If is that a good thing? Is that something you enjoy? Greater personal space and lower population density. What do you do with the space? Right? You just have space. What do you do with it? It's cost to maintain that space, mow the lawn, make sure your HOA is not coming after you. Costs a lot of money. So what's the benefit in that? Cultural emphasis on individualism, right? But white people want us to assimilate. White people say you should assimilate. American culture prioritizes individual choice and personal freedoms, shaping everything from career path to lifestyle decisions. Yeah, jobs have potlucks, but people like Charlie Kirk are upset. They say why are you having a cultural potluck at work when you're supposed to just eat American food and assimilate, talk, sound, act like an American, a white American, of course. So I don't know if that's an advantage. So again, have we learned? I think I've learned a fair bit. I've learned about how powerful AIPAC is. I've learned more about lobbying groups, what they do, how they own politicians, and how election processes are a farce, right? Because the population suffers. They don't get nothing that they voted for, right? The lobbying groups, the powerful groups, are the people deciding what the people get to get, even though the people have to vote. So it's a farce. It's a make believe. It's a smoke screen. But you got to keep voting because the Constitution says you should vote. But you got to fight to break that. Like those people that are not tied to the racist organization AIPAC, the slave owning organization AIPAC, I'd rather say, right? But that's what we've learned so far. A powerful organization that owns the majority of American politicians. It's your host, Tres, and we'll continue talking about these issues. Thank you.